to call names. It's going to be first come, first serve. Brian, Mike, Rachel, Kylie. I'm going to stop for a minute because, yeah.
There's one of the easy ones. It's not fair.
Is that right?
They don't have it right.
Rodolfo and a Pinder. So Kylie, Rodolfo, and a Pinder. And the easy ones are officially gone.
I don't need to run if I'm the only person.
No, we're waiting for one person now.
Let's see where 3 pi came from, since everyone thinks that's one of the harder of the options that we had. L over C, so we don't know L. We do know C. Equals M, 108, over what number? 360, the number of degrees in a circle. So from there, all you have to do is cross multiply 108 times 10 divided by 360. That's where the 3 pi came from. Let's pretend you're taking a quiz and you put 3 as your answer.
Wrong.
Can I mark it wrong or right?
Wrong.
Wrong. Half off? No. 100% wrong. So this has to be 3 pi. You can't just put 3. Rodolfo, are you ready? So the proportion is L. We know L, so let's write it down. L over C. We know C equals M over 360. What happens to our pi's, guys? Pi's, guys. Cancels. Uh-oh, wait. No, what's left in the numerator? 0 or 1? 1 is left over. Rodolfo, what do you get? 60 is 1/6 of 360.
Yeah.
Degree, angle. 360 divided by 6. Very good. Homework answers. It was a short homework. No reason to skip this homework. We're not doodling. We're only opening markers when we're actually doing these. We're going to use all the ink markers I bought. If you would like to bring, is that your own marker? Remember, if you like to bring your own marker, you can doodle. When that's your own marker, then you can doodle.
Can you
Sweat? 8 ties, 7 ties, 2, 8 ties.
Can you be quiet, please? Sean, greatly appreciate it. Sean, stop talking.
Where's
33? Please stop.
one negative plus
I don't know.
33.
Okay. Where's number 33? Oh, is it that paragraph one?
Why do you want to go easy?
She's like,
I literally was not even.
I don't know why I did.
I don't know. I don't look at the words. I look at the pictures. I didn't even know. Oh, yeah.
What's the answer to 33? Let's all agree.
50.3.
It's just circumference minus circumference. What? 8 pi? 8 pi?
Yes.
wrong.
Yeah, 8.5, so I drew this.
Okay. I'm going over 34. Anything else?
No.
Wait.
Last chance. Yep.
Can you go over 20?
23?
Yes, please. I think. If you want to do it, go ahead.
Anything else?
I have such low confidence in myself.
23 and then 34. Here we go. 23. TDC. How many letters did they use? 3 letters. So we know our answer has to be.
Major.
But what numerically, what does our answer need to look like? Greater than 180. So if you choose one that's less than 180, you picked the wrong arc. You picked the minor arc. T. Then we travel to D. And then we stop at C. So we're going this way. So we are adding up, first of all, TD, that segment goes to the center. So we know from T to D is 180. And then how can we find how far it is from C to D?
Subtract 128 from
128 minus 180, what is it?
52.
So it's just an addition, 180 plus 52. Okay? Next one, 34. Find the length of the arc. Leave your answer in terms of pi. L over, what's the circumference of that one? 28 pi. L over C equals M over 360. When you cross multiply, it looks like you're going to get a fraction, a decimal actually, and then you tell your calculator to do math, enter, enter. Was that what you were asking about, Zoe? So you could have also put 3.5 pi. That would be correct as well. We just always convert to fractions because that's the one we like better. Okay, let's move on to today's lesson. Title your notes. Area of circles and sectors. So yesterday we found a 1D value, a length of an arc. Today we're going to find a 2D value, the area of a sector. Yes, it is. Area of a sector. Yes, Drew, very good.
Yes, I am.
Area of a sector.
Wait.
Well, you already know how to find the area of a circle, so that's going to be old. The new stuff is area of a sector. You can write the whole thing though, Jocelyn. Then work on it. Old news, but you need it for today. Area of a circle is pi r squared. I told you that was something you just needed to memorize. That's something in life that you should just know. Area of a circle is pi r squared. In life, do you really need to walk around knowing the surface area of a sphere? Maybe not. But area of a circle, yep. I think you should walk out of this class knowing it without having to look at a formula chart. All right. So a sector, kind of like Drew was saying, is like a piece of pie. It is the area created when you draw 2 radii and the outline of the circle. So it's, if you shade in, you draw a radius and you take an arc, the area subtended area, you don't have to use that word, is the sector that we're talking about. So a pie-shaped region. So it's not a triangle, right? Because a triangle, by definition, has 3 sides. This does not have 3 sides because one of its sides is a curve, and that's not technically a segment. So, oops, I went 2 slides forward. Stop, don't write it. All right. That looks really familiar.
Yeah.
That looks almost just like yesterday's formula, except instead of L and C, we've got area of a sector and area of the circle. But guess what? It still follows the same pattern. Part over whole equals part over whole. That's the piece of pie, and the area of the circle would be the whole circle. So if you use common sense, part over whole, you can come up with the formula all by yourself without memorizing it. So this is a capital A with a subscript of SEC, not referring to football. Anyways, or sports in general, I guess. ASEC. Sometimes we call it ASEC. The SEC, the conference, that's what I was talking about. Trying to get past that one. Okay. Let's dive right in and try some. Two examples where you're simply plugging straight into the proportion with nothing tricky. Direct application of your new formula. We are going to leave our answers in terms of pi unless otherwise stated.
Good observation.
So we are finding this area and this area. That's what we're finding.
Oh, I understand.
Start with the easy stuff. Aiden, circle number 1. What's the area of the circle? Nope. Yes, 144 pi meters squared is the area of the circle. So now we go to our formula. ASEC over A equals M over 360. We cross multiply. And Arsham, what do you get? 48 pi? No? Way to go, Arsham. 12 pi meters squared.
Can you, Sean, please with some?
Can you calm down? Please don't get on me about everything I do. It's not good.
Whoa!
We've actually
If you actually have to listen to me, then you could just ignore me like everyone else.
Oh my gosh, Sean.
None of you are.
Arsham, are you okay with it being 12? Do you know what you're solving? Oh, you were solving number 2. Okay. Okay. All right, Hannah, what's the area of circle 2? The area of the circle. Thank you. 81 pi inches squared. And Arsham, what's the area of the sector? All right, thank you. You were ahead of us. Sorry that we were lagging. All right.
I got 27 for that one.
Oh, Arsham. He covered himself. He was like, oh, that was for the second one. That's why I got it wrong. But then it's not even right for the second one. Okay, let's talk about this since we can't trash Arsham. Okay, area of the sector. 81 equals 120 over 360. I just said we can't trust you. It's true. You're going to get better. You're going to practice. 81 times 120 divided by 360.
27.
See, he's being a good sport and not being defensive at all. 27 pi inches squared.
Wait, hold it.
Woo! Sink in, Tyler. Sink in.
I'll put an 8 right.
Okay.
I got it.
Let's find some other things. Let's not find the area of the sector this time. Let's find the angle and let's find the radius. I'll give you a couple minutes to try these.
Good job.
Make sure you check your words before you say an answer. Let me move it. Kate, for number 3, just give me the proportion that you set up.
5 pi over 36 pi equals x over 300.
Thank you, ma'am. We know that the pi's cancel. 5 times 360 divided by 36. Jalissa, what do you get? $50. Very good. Let me go off on a tangent really quick. There is going to be a time in another math class when you're not going to be able to use calculators every day. So I just want you to be aware, because I have my off period with the pre-cal teacher, and she talks all the time about how kids have no number sense because they always use their calculator. So there will be a time where you'll have tests that you cannot use a calculator on. So I want you to pre-cal. So I want you to just be aware, like stare at what you're doing maybe before you go straight to the calculator. For example, look at this proportion. First of all, the pi's cancel. What do you notice from here to here? It just has a 0. So what do you do to the 5? You just put a 0. So if you could ever just use number sense instead of diving straight into your calculator, train your brain to do that. That way when you get to pre-cal, it's not such a shock. All right, back off of our tangent, back on our circle again. Mayeli, can you set me up a proportion for number 4?
4 pi.
4 pi? Very good. And when we find x, what will we have found? Not the circumference. The area. So that's the area. It's not going to be the radius. It's going to be the area. So be careful. So Zoe, what do you get when you cross multiply and when you find the area? Not the answer, but the area.
9 pi.
Area is 9 pi. How do we go backwards from area to radius? Divide by pi, and then square root. Very good. So everybody, whole class, final answer. 3. Oh, we don't have units. And this one was degrees. Moving on, because that one was an angle.
Yes.
All right, this is important. This is a new definition. Put this in your notes. This is called a segment of a circle. This was not on your vocab sheet. This is extra, addendum.
What about that area?
What?
Was that area
The area of a sector? No. I don't think that one. The sector was not on there either. It was not. A segment of a circle is the part of the circle bounded by an arc and the segment joining its endpoints. What could we call this segment? What is this called? A chord. Very good. So it's the area bounded by a chord and an arc. The area created when you draw a chord and an arc. That is called a segment. It kind of goes against what we are used to, because we're used to a segment being like 1D, like a length. But a segment of a circle, it looks like this. It's like a half moon, except it's not exactly half. It's not a crescent either, because this part is not curved. This part is straight, and this part is curved. Did you ever play with it looks like one of those things, did you ever play with them where you like put them on a table, and you like push it down, and then it slowly pops back up?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that. The side view of it anyways. All right. How in the world are we going to find the area of a segment? That is how we're going to do it. Write it down. That is the strategy. It's complicated. How do you find the area of a segment? Step 1, draw 2 radii. You draw the piece of pie pretty much. Step 2, you find the area of that triangle. Step 3, you subtract. So this is saying sector minus triangle equals segment. Sector, it's a lot of work to find the area of a segment. Minus triangle, I know I'm in the way, equals segment. Sector minus triangle equals segment. How do you find the area of a sector? You use your proportions. How do you find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. Love it.
Here you go.
Shane. Sector minus triangle.
But how do you know the height of the triangle?
The height is the
radius.
No, the height is not the radius. It depends on the problem. It's going to be different each time. But we're going to work some
Did they give
problems.
us the radius? I mean the height, whatever.
Probably. The height is the altitude, like this. That's the height right there. Now, if that was a 90-degree angle, the height would be the radius if that was a 90-degree angle, but it's not here. Ready to try some? Did we get the strategy written down? No? Sector minus triangle. That's all you have to write. Sector minus triangle. I'm going to move on.
Didn't you say radius divided by 2?
Like he's saying that
The height would be the radius divided by 2.
Right?
No, not necessarily. Because I can draw this here. I can draw it. I mean, I can choose to draw it in different places. Okay, let's try this one where it is a right angle. Yes, that is my gift to you. The first one is a right angle. You're welcome. We'll do one that's not, though, so that you can see one. Oh. So, sector minus triangle. Everyone needs to find the area of the sector. Then you need to find the area of that triangle. It's not bad. If you do it one step at a time, it's not bad. Can't run a marathon without taking the first step. Take the first step. Find the area of that piece of pie.
wow, really good analogy. I love the way it works.
See, devil's advocate. Y'all love playing devil's advocate. Unless you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Drew.
Everyone okay with how I set up that proportion?
Looks fine.
It looks fine. 10 squared is 100 last time I checked, so. So wait, who's next on my list? Neelan, what is the area of the sector? 25 pi? So we're gonna do sector minus triangle. Julie, area of the triangle. Okay, so OB is a radius. OA is also a radius. So if the radius is 10, the radius is still 10. Base times height divided by 2. 100 divided by 2, 50. 50. That's the final answer already up there. 25 pi minus 50. Cannot combine them. They are not like terms. So at the very end, if you wanted to put inches squared, that would be final. Let's try another one. We'll keep our momentum going. Whoa! I don't have any more segments? Wait. I know. Do I have any more segments?
I think we should give up.
Wait, let me find another segment. We need to do another segment.
You don't give up on
It's
this.
okay.
Okay.
In the marathon, you have to finish.
Let's do number 17. We're doing a homework problem because I didn't have any other segment problems. Sorry about that.
Hey.
Let's do number 17. Draw that because I know it's small on the board. Draw it on your own paper. Draw it larger. This says 6, and this says 120. And then we'll go back to my radioactive looking symbol that I made. Sector minus triangle. Sector minus triangle. Alyssa, can you set up the proportion for me to find the area of the sector?
A7 over 36
Oh, wait, I can't write that fast.
over
A sec over
36
36 pi.
equals 120 over 360.
Beautiful. Drew, let me know when you know the area of the sector. Remember we did that last time? Look, 36 add a 0, something add a 0. Drew? 36 to 360, something to 120. 12. The area of the sector is 12 pi. Y'all are snipping at each other. Bailey, what kind of triangle is this right here? Isosceles. It is an isosceles triangle. What I recommend is you redraw that triangle facing you. That is what the triangle looks like. Can you find the area of that triangle? Sure you can.
It's a 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's not even a 1. I'm sorry. Doesn't mean It's so mean to me.
We learned that an arc has the same measure as the central angle. What happens when you bisect 120?
60.
You get 60. Oh, sorry. I know. Now it says 360. I tried to put the 3 right on top of the 6. It didn't go right on top of the 6. How did I know it was 30, 60, 90? Well, this was 60, and this is an altitude. An altitude has to hit at 90. Okay. Aww. So across from the right angle is 6. So across from the 30 is... That's not so bad. The height is 3. Uh-oh, what's the base? Oh, that is ugly. What is that? 3 root 3 and 3 root 3 for a total of 6 root 3. Ready? Base times height divided by 2. Base 6 root 3. Height 3 divided by 2. Final answer? 9 root 3. 12 pi minus 9 root 3. It doesn't get any tougher than that. That's the toughest one. Let's go back to the radioactive one. It's not as tough as you think. Find the area of the shaded region. It is not sector minus triangle. It's not that. It's easier than that. It's just finding the area of 4 sectors, and they're identical. So find the area of 1 and quadruple it.
So is that saying the radius?
18. The radius is 18, yes. Jocelyn, what measure are the angles, are the arcs around the shaded part? What measure are those? Well, add up 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 and subtract it from 360. It's 30? Are you just saying that because 30 always goes with 60 or because you did the math? Did the math? Okay. Okay. So, a sec is what we don't know over, what's the area of that circle?
324 pi.
What?
324 pi.
Ooh. Okay. What's the measure of the central angle? We want the angle that goes with the shaded ones because we're trying to find the shaded region.
30.
Or you could do 120. You could multiply it by 4 now, or you could multiply it by 4 later. It's up to you which one makes more sense to you. Cross multiply. What?
Yeah.
3, 2, 4, sorry. Cross multiply, you'll get the area of one sector, and then you can quadruple it. Or you can do what Sean did, and you can use, instead of 30, you can use 120 as your angle. Bruno, what do you get? What? Pi. Inches squared.